Okay. Hey everyone! So I know it's been a very long time since I made a book video, and I have been wanting to make this video for a very long time, but it was at the time in early 2019 that I wasn't feeling well physically. Now that I'm better, I am ready to be filming more videos, really in the mood to be making a lot of videos, not just book videos, like challenge videos, baking videos, even arts and crafts videos. This video is very long overdue. This is my books that I've read in 2018, or my 2018 reading wrap-up, plus a book that I've only half read in 2019. So let's get right into my 2018 reading wrap-up. First book I read in 2018 is Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. It's about a girl named Ella, and when she was a baby, her fairy godmother Lucinda gave Ella the gift of obedience, which really became a curse instead of a gift. Ella Enchanted is one of my favorite stories of all time. I grew up watching the movie so many times. Every time I watch it, I still love it so much. I didn't even know until a few years ago that the movie is based on a book. So I got the book in 2017. Then in the summer of 2018, I finally picked it up and started to listen to the audiobook while following along with the book. I have heard that the book is actually very different from the movie, which it definitely is, but both of them still have the same plot to it. And even though both of them are different, I still love both of them equally. I gave the book a 4 out of 5 stars. The second book I read is Unblemished by Sarah Ella. This book is about a girl named Eliana, who was born with a birthmark covering half her face. Eliana and the birthmark are connected to something much bigger and otherworldly than she can ever imagine. Unblemished is a book that I thought I would have loved a lot more than I did. This book was an early birthday gift from my older sister. It was also the book that got me into a reading slump at the very end of 2016 and for all of 2017. After I read Enchanted, I finally picked this book up again. This time I was listening to the audiobook while following along with the book. It was one of the books that I read for the BookTube-thon, which is now called the Reading Rush, which is a yearly summer readathon in 2018. Now this book was interesting? Confusing in a weird way. Both the story to it and how it was written. First, her writing wasn't bad, but it was a little difficult for me to read. That's why I got stuck in a reading slump. As for the story goes, it was very interesting in a good way. It really piqued my interest and I wanted to know more. Problem was, she kept on dumping a lot of information, or info dumping as you would want to call it too. Especially towards the end, where a lot of important information was all coming out at once. It was very confusing and hard to follow, and I kept on having to rewind the audiobook to try to understand what was going on. The main character was annoying to me anyway. There's also a love triangle in this, and it was very confusing and weird at the same time, which I didn't like at all. The reason why I kept on reading it was the plot, the mystery, and one character that I actually really liked in the book. So overall, I gave this book a 3 or 3.5 out of 5 stars. Probably a 3. Now to move on to a book that I absolutely love, way more than Unblemished. This book was a reread and it's a part of my favorite series of all time, which if you have seen my other videos or even my previous video, my reaction video, then you know what it is. The book is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. As some of you may know, as I just mentioned, The Chronicles of Narnia is my favorite series of all time. I have really been in the mood to reread this series. It has been so many years since I have last read these books. I reread it for a reading challenge for the Reading Rush in 2018. The challenge was to read the book and then watch the movie. So it was perfect timing for me to pick up this book to read. When I was rereading and rewatching them, I felt like I was in my happy place. I was so at peace and happy and yeah. Narnia is definitely my happy place. And of course, I already gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. Moving on to the next book I read, or books I should say, because this is also a series that I read, and that actually, it was a reread for me, and that is The Ascendance Trilogy by Jennifer A. Nielsen. The first book is The False Prince, the second book is The Runaway King, and the third book is The Shadow Throne. False Prince is about these 4 orphan boys who compete to be a false prince. That is the best that I can describe it, and I don't think for this series you need to know any more than that. The Ascendance Trilogy is one of my top favorite series of all time. I reread this series last year, and it was my second time reading it. I reread this series because I really wanted to. I was in the mood for it, and I really wanted to listen to the audiobooks of this series. I have heard that the audiobooks are amazing, and they definitely are amazing. The narrator was perfect for this trilogy. He had a voice for every single character. Every character sounded completely different, and I could tell which character was talking. Charlie McWade was the voice actor and narrator for the audiobooks. And he is such an amazing voice actor. He wasn't just putting on voices for the characters, he became the characters themselves. So I highly recommend for you to listen to the audiobooks. I listen to them on Audible, but you can also listen to them on YouTube for free. I also did a spoiler-free review video on the series, so if you want to check either of them out, I'll leave a link to the video down below in the description and at the end of this video. So yeah, I gave the whole series a 5 out of 5 stars. And the last and final book that I read in 2018 is a series of unfortunate events, The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. It's about 3 orphan siblings named Violet, Klaus, and Sonny Baudelaire, who, after finding out their parents have died, they get sent to live with a man named Count Olaf. From there, a series of unfortunate events start to happen to them. A series of unfortunate events, The Bad Beginning, is such a creative way of telling a story, and it was so good. I first got introduced to this world by the 2004 movie. My siblings and I used to watch the movie a lot when we were younger. At the time, I didn't know at all that this was based on a book series until a few years ago. I really wanted to start reading the books because of the Netflix series, which I love a lot. I started to read the book in December 2018 while I was rewatching seasons 1 and 2 of the show to watch season 3 when it came out on January 1st, 2019. When I was reading the book, I realized that the show is very faithful to the books. That's because Lemony Snicket, whose real name is Daniel Handler, is very involved in making the show. I loved this book so much. I love the Baudelaire children so much. I really want to read the rest of this series. I thought the book was amazing and very creative. If you have read this book, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you should definitely read at least the first chapter and then see what you think, or just even watch the show. I don't really have anything bad to say about the book. It was just so good and entertaining, so I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Now for 2019, I didn't really read that much, but I did read or reread half of a book, and that is The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis, which is the 3rd book in the Chronicles of Narnia series chronologically, but in publication order it's actually book number 5. Last year I actually started to reread this book because, again, as I said earlier, I really wanted to reread the Chronicles of Narnia series. The next book on that list was this book, and I only got halfway through this book, like actually exactly halfway, and I was really enjoying it, but then that's when all the me not feeling well physically started to get worse, so I stopped reading it to take care of my physical health, to get better throughout the rest of 2019. I wasn't able to actually pick it up again and reread the other half. Now that it's halfway through 2020, I am planning on still continuing to reread this book because I really want to, so that way I can get to rereading the other books in the series. Hoping to actually finish rereading this before 2020 ends. But even if I don't, then that's okay too. I can just reread it or finish rereading it in my own time. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to see more book videos or BookTube videos, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel. That's how I know that you want to see more of my videos. Comment down below if you want to see any other type of book videos, because I need ideas for book videos that you want to see me do, and I will hopefully be able to do it. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you have an amazing day. I love you all so much, and look out for my next video, which will be coming out sometime soon. Hopefully one video a week, every Friday. Bye everyone!